right, we are back. What's going on, everybody? What's up? Welcome to Live from the Green Room. Joe Fox in the building. I'm sitting in by myself, rolling solo. We got Tony out of town, Trey is out of town, and I'm here. The show must go on. We're gonna rock this. I got my man to my left, Grimey, John Grimes in the building. Thanks for joining me, brother. Sitting in with me.
Thanks, sir. You're not by yourself. I'm here, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's way lonelier than you made it sound.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm by myself.
Screen out here, right?
I know, right? Yeah. One of these days we're gonna be able to do this show. Remember back in the day, like during COVID days, people were doing Zoom podcasts and stuff. Yeah, so. Trash. I mean, I don't know, man. Someone had some elaborate setups that they still rocking today.
No, it was solid for the moment, but once you get out of that, like humans.
Yeah, you want contact.
Yeah, the energy flow through is always better.
Definitely,
yeah. So this has been fun, man.
Yeah. So also, we gotta give the shout out to the sponsor, Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk Jamaican rum punch. Yo, man, Kirk, we need some more of this. I actually had some of this over the weekend because I was chilling, had a moment so I could chill, and I needed something sweet to drink. And I had me some Jamaican punch, Captain Kirk Jamaican rum punch, and the rest of the Saturday was shot because this stuff is strong. Right?
You got a stash?
That's where that came from. Because, see, I knew Tony and Trey wasn't going to be here. So I was like, let me bring some just in case. I want to make sure.
Got a secret stash. That's
it's only like 3 or 4. Like,
man. Dang. So we need
to... You never know. You might want to go on vacation, at the apartment.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in a pinch,
I'm stealing something next time you ship them. No, I'm not stealing.
We all stealing, man. Yeah, man. Take you up, man. Take you some Jamaican rum punch, man, and chill. Stories. Yeah, man. So lot going on. Shout out. Let me do a couple shout outs, man. Yeah. First shout out to Royale, man. Our guest last week dropping jewels. Really enjoyed sitting and talking to that brother, man. Yeah. So shout out to him. We got some great guests coming up. It's hard to get real good guests because of scheduling, man. But we're going to do that. We're going to have some great guests. So shout out to everybody that hollered back at me. We're going to get you in here. I don't want to say who they are because you know how sometimes.
You can't promise.
Can't overpromise.
You got a contract on them.
I know, but we got some great guests coming up, man.
Who's been your favorite guest so far? Favorite episode or favorite guest? Don't make it say better anybody, but just one that you say, oh yeah, I love that episode.
Man, I'm gonna say so far, the origin story. I think like episode 3.
Oh,
the origin when we were doing origin stories, man. Because I don't think we could ever really tell our origin stories, enough because there's so much there. But I definitely enjoyed just opening up to the people.
I think I missed that episode.
You may not have been there.
I know. I'm like, that would be a great episode to be a part of the origin story episode.
Because everyone's got one, and everyone has a pivotal experience in this game.
Yeah.
That defines us in several different ways. Maybe not just one time, but several over even at the course of your career. You have these moments where it defines you, and you either deviate, go into a whole nother direction that you never thought. And then other times you rise to the occasion in a way that you would never have done had you not gone through that experience, So
origin stories are cool. I mean, just to be able to full circle moments are pretty cool too.
Of course.
Themselves. I think about how I first came out to LA, I was doing open mics in Long Beach. I started in LA comedy in LA. So to me, I think that's one of the hardest things to do because you have no network, no peer group, nothing. So
right.
Or no local humor even. You can't even make the jokes about your hometown because you're not even there. So I just thought that was hell, but I would still try to go to comedy things. I remember one of the few things I went to early on, then my first year moving to LA was All Deaf Wednesdays.
Okay, so
2014, 15 maybe?
2000. Well, I think we started that in 2000. I want to say 2013.
Yeah, I moved out here in September 2013.
Okay.
I didn't get on stage until November of 2013 for the first time. And then I started open micing when I moved to LA, which is April, May. I started open micing more frequently because it was in LA, and I could go to more mics because in Long Beach you had like 1 or 2 mics, and I had to drive to LA.
So where did you like? First of all, where did you move from?
St. Louis originally.
I'm from St. Louis to LA.
LA, yeah.
And then you was going down to Long Beach to do mics.
I moved to Long Beach originally for about 9 months. My first place I moved into was September of 2013. We had like an 8-month lease. It ended in like April.
An 8-month lease?
Yeah, it was very short.
Like, I ain't even heard of that.
It was something crazy.
I thought it was like 9.
Maybe we moved there late, but we had already started the lease. So I was like paying in advance or something like that. But I got there in September.
Oh, you was balling when you came out here.
Look here, man. I had a job.
You paying your rent in advance?
I had a job when I was moving. I lived
at the bank, right?
Oh, no, it's Oklahoma City. So I lived in Oklahoma City for 1 year as I moved west to LA. My brother said, live with me in LA, Oklahoma City, save some money, move to LA. And so I was like, all right, I'm working at AT&T in Oklahoma City. I was like, I'm going to transfer my job to LA. Boom. So I had this money. I paid for the rent. So I'm paying for rent. And then I got to LA and they was like, we ain't hiring you. So I had no job when I got here.
You didn't do a transfer?
They said rejected my transfer. It's like, nah, you just quit.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like, okay, so I just moved here jobless then.
So I back up. You transferred, but then the transfer didn't take.
They said when you get there, you can interview with the manager of AT&T in Long Beach and see what he says. So I moved there, went to that location on a Monday, talked to him for like an hour, and just never heard back from him again. And I was
man, that's just.
I was like, so I don't have a job.
You relocated.
Exactly. That's what I thought I was. They was like, I don't give a shit. So I didn't relocate. I ended up jobless, and that was in downtown Long Beach. But I was only hitting. Like,
he said jobless.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. So I was like looking for jobs and trying to get on stage. So that Long Beach was cool. I got a couple mics up there, open mics there. But I was like, man, it's not enough. So that's when I moved to LA, and I started really hitting mics. And I was in downtown LA, kind of by Dodger Stadium a little bit.
Oh yeah, Chinatown. Off of Figueroa Terrace.
Figueroa Terrace.
Yeah.
What the hell? Yes. Yeah, exactly.
I've been there too.
That's exactly where I live, Figueroa Terrace.
What's the name of the apartments?
Skyline. Skyline Terrace.
That's where I stayed.
All right.
On that hill?
Yeah, on the hill.
On that long ass hill.
And the girls playing that little pool on the 4th level 4. It's like a bunch of chicks.
I mean, I was watching full grown adults in that pool. I don't know about them little girls, man. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, I mean, like young chicks on the pool. You know, residents of the apartment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was there for like 1 or 2 years, and that place was dope. Very cool. If you're coming to LA, like it was just a great spot to go to. But it was really close to a bunch of mics. So I got to hit a bunch of mics there, and I met a girl who knew. I want to say Teddy Ray, and she's like, I'm cool.
Teddy
with this
Ray,
guy.
shout out to Teddy Ray.
RC Teddy Ray, man. But she said, I'm cool with a guy that does a show or hangs out at a show at the Chinese theater. You should go to it and check it out. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll go to it and check it out. That's where I met Terrence Delane and Teddy Ray, right?
All right, shout out to Terrence Delane.
I get in that room. I see that Tony's hosting it. And I'm like, it's something about Russell Simmons, something about Tony. I'm like,
yeah, Russell Simmons All Def Comedy Live.
So I'm placing it together. I'm like, okay, this is every week. This is dope. I see Tony hosting. I'm like, damn, this dude killing it. That's dude from All of Us. Didn't know he did stand-up. Just was like, he do stand-up.
Really?
That's crazy. Like, yeah, I'm like texting my family, like, yo, dude from All of Us is a comic. Like, I don't know if I pieced together. He was Chris brother. I'm talking like, yo, dude from All of Us.
Hilarious.
Right? So I'm like, I'm watching the shows. I'm watching all these cool comics. And I'm like, damn, these all these stars. And then at the end of the shows, the comics do the little circles of hangouts. And I'd just be standing there. My roommate would always come with me. She was a chick. And she would always be like, well, these are the comics. Why don't you go walk over there? And I was like, I'm not walking over there to the comedian circle. Are you crazy? You can't just walk over to a comedian circle.
Brand new comedian.
A brand new comic. Walk, like, it was, ironically, I wish I'd have said this while he was there. It was G-Thing. It was Tony. It was all of them in a circle right there just talking. And she's like, go walk over there. And I was like, nah. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just chill right over here. The person I did meet that time I went was like Barry Brewer. I know he was from Chicago for some reason.
Yeah,
but shout out Barry Brewer.
Yeah,
he was nice. He spoke to me that night. Other than that, I was like, I'm not walking over to the comedian group. One day I would love. And that was like one of my bigger goals is that I want to be a comedian that's decent enough that you can walk up to a comedian circle and nobody go, the fuck is he doing here?
Yeah, I know.
Yo, man, it's intimidating.
I guess it can be, like, I didn't start out here, but I remember when I moved out here, that was a little bit of a thing, like, what other comedians can I network with, or how do I meet new comedians? I mean, you said you got here in September, and then you got on stage
2 months later.
2 months later, like it. I mean, it depends. That's all right. I got here. I was like, where do I go? And trying to find the spots. It took me about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I found my way to the Comedy Store. They were doing, the lottery pick.
You went big, okay.
But I mean, I didn't know where else to go. I'm going to the comedy club. So, but just getting to know, who's comedians and stuff. I got involved early and started working with the Tuesday night, tripping on Tuesdays at the Comedy Stores. Got it. And that's how I got to know the comedians, because I got involved in some of the show production. Shout out Southfield Village, Drew Tillman. Shout out to because I didn't know what else to do but to get involved with something. So I said that to say it's hard to get to know the comedians unless you're involved with something. Yeah.
And so I was very bare out there, just like I had no connectivity. Mm-hmm. What's funny is that I mentioned that moment about the cool circle thing, and I'll follow up with that in a second. But like what happened is that I was hitting open mics like once a day, right? I'm in LA, I'll go to this mic, and then tomorrow I'll go to this mic, right? Or something like that. And one day I did a mic on a Sunday, and Quincy Jones, shout out Quincy Jones, the comic, he's from Seattle. He saw my set. Hey, man, you funny, man. You gonna hit the next mic? And I was like, what do you mean next mic? He's like, after this, like the next mic we're going to. I'm like, you go to another mic in the same day? And he was like, what? He had 4 or 5 mics in the same day. And I was like, whoa, blew my mind. After that, I ain't got a car. Here, drive it to the next mic. I was like, all right, I'll drive you to the next mic. Show me what the next mic is. I started hitting 3 or 4 mics a day. And that was when I was like, I am in heaven now. Like, I really wanted to do mics every day, nonstop. Like, I started to get home at like 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. driving from Long Beach to LA, change my clothes, and be out the whole night. It's like 1 a.m. Just hitting 3 or 4 mics a night. And this is back when it was lottery and list. Lottery and 2 or 3 hours, just go up and do 3 minutes. Like, you didn't know if he's going to go up. You didn't know if what the spot he's going to get in, he's going to get bumped. Like, this is back when you had to really wait. You couldn't book a slot. I mean, like you can nowadays.
Some spots you still got to do that. I mean,
but every mic was a wait. Like, if you didn't get there on time or early, use number 21, 22. That's 20 times 4 minutes of sets. Like, you're not leaving there for 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's why you gotta pick your spots. Like, where you can get up. Like, shout out to the J spot in the Comedy Union, man. Like, I know I can get up there. Like, I had to work up to that, but it was hard. Trying to I'm gonna hang out here, and I might get a spot. It's like a carrot dangling in the carrot. I might be able to get you up. I might be able to get you up. So you stay all night and you don't get up. And you say, well, you could have went to this spot over here. But fortunately, there's so many mics that like a new comic can get. You just kind of have to go to one of them, and somebody knows where another one is. Kind of like what you get.
Yeah, you gotta have a crew. You gotta have somebody that's gonna like be down to hit mics and tell you how mics that are going on. And then we had a website called
the Comedy Bureau.
Yeah, there's a few like mics. There's a few of them that tells you where you can find like where to go up at. And that helped me out a lot. Yeah. Now, the only thing I think that I did differently than a lot of other comics when I started out that early is that I started booking myself out of town to get more stage time.
Right.
So I was in LA doing 2 or 3 minutes every time. I was like, I can't do nothing with 2 or 3 minutes. I got to get out of town and see if I can do a show and then get more stage time. So I think that's probably what made me, I'm certain it changed my whole like career trajectory, but in terms of like being able to be ready for longer sets. But so I said I got there out in LA 2013. I started hitting mics 2014 hardcore. I around the same time I left St. Louis, they opened up Helium Comedy Club in St. Louis. And so by like 2015,
shout out to the St. Louis Helium.
Shout out St. Louis Helium.
That's the club where I almost got beat up.
Legendary weekend with Joe Fox.
Were you there?
I was there.
You were there.
He misgendered somebody, and we almost had to get jumped by one dude.
I almost I misgendered a huge mammoth of a dude.
Yeah. And we was about to get jumped by him only. That's how big he was. He was about to be all 3 of our ass. That dude was humongous.
He wouldn't have done that.
Okay, man. I don't know what
he would have got you.
I don't know what your experience is with St. Louis, but one way or the other, it wouldn't have been great for us.
I wasn't gonna be the only one bleeding. Fuck that.
No, I don't. No, maybe that's how tuned up. It ain't about a good fight. I don't know.
That's how tuned up I was. I was like, because I know I didn't do it. Because I re-looked at that tape, by the way. I looked at it and I like, wait a minute. No, I didn't. I asked him if he was something that he wasn't.
You said y'all lesbians.
No, that's a question.
Girl with a guy.
That means I didn't call him that though. I didn't call him no lesbian. I said, "Are you a same-sex couple?"
That's a lesbian.
Okay, but I didn't call him one.
I'm calling you a woman.
Are you? No, I didn't say are you. That's different to me.
If I say
in my mind,
it's
like
date,
a same-sex couple. Like, are y'all a same-sex couple?
What sex are you referring? Was it male or female then?
It doesn't matter. I didn't
well,
say.
You know, one of them was a woman for sure. So you saying,
one of them was
one of y'all the same sex. That means my big ass homie right here with the Dre's and
I'm gonna put it out. I got the tape. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna say this is where I said what I said. Okay.
Long story short,
he was offended. Anyway, St. Louis Helium Comedy Club.
Somebody randomly comments on a Facebook post and tags me and said, "Yo, you should try to perform here." Mm-hmm. So I go, well, you know what? Fuck it. Maybe I should try to perform there. Mm-hmm. It's still fresh. So I called the club, old school style. I called the club in this is like early 2016. I called the club and go, "Hey, I would like to perform there." And they're like, "Well, just yourself?" I'm like, "No, I'll bring a bigger act, but I'm from there, so I'll help him bring comics." Ironically, it was Quincy Jones. I said, Quincy just did Ellen and Conan. So he was like blowing up. Mm-hmm. So I said, I'll bring Quincy Jones with me. He'll be the headliner and I'll just open up for him. They were like, "Oh, we know Quincy Jones. Just watch the Ellen episode." I was like, yeah, he's gonna come and I'm gonna open. And I'm like, all right, cool, we'll give you this date. Gave me the date.
So now you had to get him to come.
Yeah, he said he was there. "Oh yeah, I got you, bro." Okay, we were hanging out every day, Mike and every day together, doing shows every day, right? Good. So he just got done taping his HBO special. Mm-hmm. He riding high, everything flying, and like this is like now like March, maybe February. I'm like, "Yo, bro, you remember that show we got in April in St. Louis?" And he's like, "I can't do that shit." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Huh?
And nah, man, I got all this shit. I'm booked. I'm busy. I'm just did TV. I'm everywhere now. And I was like, "Oh."
So you had to call the club and say,
"I do shit.
You damn right."
So I said, "Okay, I'll figure that out. We'll figure it out." So I went into a week out, right? About a week or two out, and I hit the club and I go, "Hey, so our headliner is going to back out, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and do the show myself. And I'll bring some local acts from St. Louis." And the manager's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, hey, here's no big deal. We've already got people buying tickets. They're already coming. Most of those are my tickets already sold. Like, let's just have me headline it and we'll see what happens." And they were like, dude was like, "Well, what the fuck are we gonna do now? We already sold tickets and we already agreed to it. So yeah, whatever." So they give me the one-nighter. First thing that happened, that was good. Tickets sold really, really well.
Right.
Second thing that happened was that I had some very funny comics on the show. Vincent Bryant was on the show. Willie C is another comic from St. Louis. Vincent Bryant took off. This time period, he was, I don't want to miscredit him, but I don't know at the time. I don't think he had much going on. Like, I don't think he was on TV or writing or did anything taped yet. Just like very funny comic from St. Louis. Somebody from LA told me about him. They're like, "Yo, when you do get a show in St. Louis, there's a guy named Vincent Bryant. You should put him on your show." I was like, all right. I'm not a St. Louis comic per se. I don't know any St. Louis comedians. So when I booked the show, I was just like, all right, I guess I'll find out who you're talking about. So they were funny. Things were going well. I had never done longer than 20 minutes before. When I had the show booked, I did an open mic at Marty's. I don't know if you guys remember Marty's over there. Of course, yeah. I went to this club 4 nights in a row that week, trying to get all my 10s together to string them together.
To get all my 10s together.
I string all 10s together, and then I put that 45-minute set together, and went out with that shit.
Right.
And it could not have went better. Like, I don't want to exaggerate. I'm sure people still remember from 8-9 years ago now. It could not have went better for me that night.
That's because you was prepared and
I was prepared.
And you knew.
I knew what I had to do. I knew the stakes. I knew, like, all right, John, you just got to be like nothing to lose mentality. Like, they gave me this one night. Ain't shit. Best thing that could happen is nothing.
Hell yeah.
So it went well. They was like, "Oh, you can come back whenever you want." So every year after that, I started coming back and doing Helium. So that was a really dope story, and that was kind of like just dope in terms of like getting more stage time every year. And I strung that along to Chicago, started doing shows in Chicago one-nighters. Then I would do Chicago, St. Louis combinations, and get to do an hour on these weekends, and go back to LA with 5-10 minute sets. Now I could do a 5-10 minute set really easily because I'm like, I just did an hour. Fuck, it's a 5-minute set.
Yeah, that's called being a road comic. I mean, that's like when I first moved out here. In retrospect, I probably should have made sure that my road gigs based out of Texas was done, because I moved out here and I still had all these other little one-nighter gigs, like as if I was still living in Texas.
Yeah.
And then I think I had one like in Arizona and New Mexico. That's fairly closer, but not like going towards Kansas, St. Louis, other little towns around in Texas. Wichita Falls. I mean, so I had to. What's another one? The Looney Bins. Have you?
Yeah, so that's out there.
So I had to get in my car or fly back and then rent a car, and I was like, man, this is crazy. So I wasn't booking myself. I had to find the little gigs around here. To do that.
I was losing money for sure. Like I would invest so much into those trips, and then just if I broke even, I'd be bragging. But if I didn't, I'd be like, I expect to lose money. Now I'm working at the bank by then now, so I would just finance the whole entire trip. I would call.
I'm working at the bank, so I financed the whole trip.
I just pay for. I would pay $1,000 to fly, hotel, blah blah. Make $80 at the show, come back and be like, what a great weekend. I just did 2 shows, 30 minutes. Like, I would lose so much money in comedy, man. I'm still losing money in comedy, but like back then, I didn't care because I was just like, people are going to Bahamas or Jamaica for their vacations. I am literally booking shows in like Ohio or Kansas or Indiana, and I'm just taking that as a loss where y'all would use that for a vacation.
It's not a loss.
It's
an fiscally
investment, yeah.
It is an investment of which you didn't see a monetary return on that investment because I guess that's part of, putting in your dues, whatever. I mean, and I think that was
the intern of my era, really, when I was just paying money all day, losing money, but I was getting more experience every day.
Yeah.
So I had done 30, 45 minutes, an hour, all up in my first 2 or 3 years. And then I come back and do shorter sets. All these shorter sets are easier to me now because I'm like,
you have the time.
Pick the best jokes that I did in that hour and just crunch them into a 10-minute set. So I think that's kind of funny that when I finally ended up on the tour with Tone, I'm like, this is the thing I did reverse order. Like I've done the shows for myself and like I know how to handle it like a show that's for me.
Why do you say it's in reverse order though?
Because you would think that a person has never headlined before they featured.
Okay,
if you thought about it in terms of time length,
So
like I did a 10-minute set, 30-minute set, an hour is what you think, right? But I did a 10-minute set, worked my way up to get my own show where I get to work on an hour. And I was like, oh man, I mean, up until I met Tone, I was still just booking shows for myself, one-nighters, which were still headlining spots, just in little small flyover towns that nobody would ever go to anyway. It's just like best you can get is me. So when I started going back with Tone, but now the rooms are bigger, right? And they're here for somebody else. The hardest adjustment was thinking, oh, okay, so they're not even here for me. Like, nobody's here for me. Way more people. Some of the shows I do, I don't think they would even work in this situation because of how it was set up. So I had to adjust to that more. That was the hardest adjustment. It's like doing less time and realizing that there's no warm welcome. If that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
there's a
when you have a show on your face on the flyer and they go see the show, they go, I'm coming to see that guy. I bought tickets to see this guy. Even if he's not famous, I know who I came to see.
Yeah.
Whereas if you walk out and they're going, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but start the show, bro.
Yeah.
That's 2 different versions of an opening intro, right? So that was the biggest like jump I had to realize, like, oh yeah. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody coming to see you. And so that was
coming to see you, Otis.
Once I learned that, I was like, okay, I get it now. I understand now that part. But
I really don't think that it's a reverse order, so to speak. I think that was just your path, and any comedian that's getting the chance to do lengthy sets on the road, you're gonna do that anyway on the road, and ain't nobody going on the road and doing 5 minutes. I mean, even as an MC on the road. I mean, if you want to call it that, usually it's feature work.
There are comics right now. They hit the road. They do 10, 15, 20-minute sets just in different spots.
But it ain't no 5 minutes. You ain't on the road doing 5.
But they might not be doing a 30 either, though. They might just be doing a spot.
If you're doing a spot like that, I mean, it's different. There's also
in terms of investment, they just touring the tour.
Yeah,
they touring to get spots up where if comic friend is the headliner, they just want to go on the road too. Let me do 10 or 15. I'll just come on the road with you. There are comics who do that too, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I'm just saying that every time you hit the road, it's not necessarily because you're getting half hour to an hour. That's the thing that I thought was normal. I thought if I go on the road, I'm doing at least a half hour or more.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So
there's so many different flavors of road gigs.
Exactly. There's no wrong way to reach it. So however you get it is how you get it. But I know that me doing it in the order I did it in made me so much stronger going back out and thinking, okay, I just got to condense my sets to a time that fits and just work within the structure. And I think that was like really helpful. And the full circle moment, I guess, is how was looking at that same group of people, which was Tony and G Thing, and like all those comics that were sitting there talking to him, Mike Epps and all that, and Corey Holcombs and all of that. And I full circle moments now is that when I sit in places or comedy clubs and I'm sitting with y'all.
Now you got the nerve to go and walk up and talk to him now?
I'm sitting in the circle I was walking up on. It's Tony talking to G Thing. And now, 2 weeks on the podcast, it was G Thing right here, Tony right here, and me right there. And I'm like, I just was afraid to walk up to that circle 10 years ago.
I know what you mean.
And now I'm sitting in the room with them, and it's like, oh, what's up? Sit down. And it's like,
you know what that moment was for me? Actually, it wasn't even on. It was a bunch of comedians, but it was not in a comedy situation. It was on set, and I was the same way. I'm seeing the stars of the show. They're all stand-ups. But I'm feeling, well, this isn't a comedy situation. This is a TV situation. Exactly. But it was all the people that, not all of them, but it was Mark Curry, Kim Coles, and, well, them two. I know that they're stand-ups, but the fact that I had done stand-up, I'm familiar to them, but I still felt that, can I go talk to them and, chop it up with them? But they were really welcoming. And we were all working together. And I think that was a full circle for me, that I put in some work, and now I'm, familiar to people who I looked up to.
It's a pretty cool feeling to get into make it to the playground.
Yeah. So let me just take a quick break, man, and just say thank you for our subscribers, man, because a subscribers count is like it's still moving up pretty quick.
Wow.
5,319.
5K.
So shout out to y'all, and I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe and forward this. If you're still listening at this point, you might as well go ahead and forward. It's free to forward on and share it on your page, man. Because we want to hit 10,000. I mean, I've gotten a couple DMs saying, when y'all going live again? We want to go live again. We're working it out. But we really want those followers. We really want y'all to help us get to a certain level. So when we start going live again, we got mad followers chiming in, watching the feed. So shout out to y'all. We're at Live from the Green Room on Live from the Green Room podcast on Instagram. And this is, as you know, Live from the Green Room on YouTube. Make sure you share us, man. So like it. Smash that like button.
Do you remember when we were talking about this in the green room about how this should be a podcast?
Yeah, because you know what?
I think Tony's like live, just talking, and we're all just like, "This is funny. This what we're doing is funny.
Yeah,
we should make this the show.
This is the show. When people were, especially like when we were talking shop, people, you just never know who might be watching. Hey, I'm a young comedian. How do I get started? So now we're able to like live talk to the people or that person.
Oh yeah,
on live, we can talk directly to them. Yeah, we're gonna call them in. Yeah, we're gonna call you in, bro. So before we call in Trent, the intern, so you were talking about full circle moments and all that. So so officially, you're on the Born to Rock tour, doing dates, for almost a year, 2 years. Because see y'all Grimey, y'all hear him come in, chime in, and sit in. He's with us, he's been with us, but he with us. He started out showing up in towns, kind of like what you was talking about. Hey, a headliner's coming over here. Hey, can I get some time? That's Grimey doing that. Grimey was doing that, and now like officially, we have to share with this nigga. That's pretty much what we got to share dates with this nigga. No.
I'm gonna rewind 2 seconds though. I want to because I feel like young comics, if they are watching this, they can get a little bit of something from this. I was doing the open mics at the Laugh Factory. I don't know if Tony tells the story exactly the same way, but this is exactly what happened. I was doing the open mics at the Laugh Factory, right. And I was winning, right? And I was winning like every week, Saturday night, every week I win. Like, so I won 11 times in 1 year, right? Which is weekly. I'm doing the math, 25% of the wins, right? So comics would come back on Tuesday nights and be like, yo, man, this dude keep winning the shows. And Tony overheard them and was like, you keep winning? And I was like, you said you won a few times? I said, no, I won 11. So I corrected him, right? And he's like, well, I won 11. Exactly, I corrected. I don't know if anybody's ever beat that. But he's like, well, I never seen you perform. And I said, right, at the time, at Ruby Tuesday show, and like where all the comics and got it, I said, man, I'll fly anywhere you're going next and perform, and you can see me. And everybody's like, oh. And he was like, okay, nigga. So he's like, I'm going to Chicago next or whatever. And I was like, all right, I'll buy a ticket tomorrow. So everybody's like, oh, shit. So Chicago didn't end up working out because I think he already had like comics on the show, too many comics on the show. So I'm going to Nate Jackson's club the week after. You can come to Seattle or Tacoma.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I ended up going to Tacoma with Trey and 2 years ago. Trey and Tone. So I opened up all 5 shows, did 10-minute guest spots on all 5 shows. Then we come back to Ruby Tuesdays next Tuesday, and all the young comics are sitting in the room like, well, how did he do? and Tone was like, he did his fucking thing. And all the young guys like, oh, yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
And we were always celebrating. We thought that was so cool.
See, that's like the road less traveled, but it's traveled by, the ones that do that. People, if you can do something like that, do that, man. It's worth it. Everybody has their audition moment for a comedian.
Absolutely.
And it's more than just, I guess you got to give them a reason.
Absolutely.
You got to give them a reason. You can't just walk up to, because people ask me that, how did you get to go on the road?
You can't just jump out.
You can't just jump out there. They got to have some kind of rapport or hear something about you or see you do your thing.
I had did it, it's just not in front of him, so it had got around to him. So somebody sitting over there today was just happened to mention it. I was just walking by and they're like, and I wasn't afraid of the moment to go, oh no, I'm funny. There's a few things I can't hoop the best, I can't write the best, handwrite it. But if you say, oh, you trying to be funny? I'm gonna say, yes, sir, I am trying to be funny. Yeah. So that happened in I want to say February or March. I thought oh, maybe this is it. I'm about to be on tour, baby. Nothing happened after that, right? Randomly, he hits me up for May of 23 and said, hey, you want to come to Ohio? Come to Ohio Funny Bone. I was like, it's a feature. I was like, oh, well, last time I did 10 minutes. This time I'm featuring. So I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. Yes. I do May Columbus Funny Bone 2023. And then a couple months later, he was like, all right, you want to come out the rest of the year with us, right? But that was for shorter sets. Now, that was all 2023. This is now May of 2025. And yes, now I do feature. I've been featuring exclusively when I go out since this past August, maybe.
Okay, so
somewhere around July, August, I started featuring exclusively.
Doing the two-man shows.
Prior to that, I was doing my 10-minute set, bringing the bags, blah, blah, blah. Now I still bring the bags, but now I do the 30-minute set, and it's just 2-man show.
Right. I like that because see, Tony told me this a long time ago. See, now you see what it's like. Now it's your job to pay it forward when you get into that position. So that's something that's always stuck with me. Even now, when I'm seeing some of the young comedians come up, I'm like, who can I work with? Because that day is coming.
It's coming,
and it's people, you want to be able to work with people who you know. So I'm looking like, who ain't wilding out now?
You are being watched currently. We are being watched currently, and it's cool to see that. I randomly got called an OG the other day, and I was like, God, okay, I don't know if I'm OG, bro. And comedy, I don't know if I'm, what could you call me a vet? I was like, okay, let's slow down with the words, bro. Maybe if you're doing it a year, 10 years, sound like a lot to a 1 year person. I remember when I was 1 year in, somebody said they've been doing it 10 years, I'm like, I'll be on Leno by then. I really think all that goofy shit.
You're gonna like it when people call you OG and actually know you, because you ain't gonna be like, you don't want to be like them people that didn't know who Damon Williams was.
Absolutely. You gotta go through the fire.
But I tell you this, Damon Williams is so hot right now. He's had the ultimate clapback. It's you don't know who I am? Let me go on Good Morning America and all that. I've been periodically
checking his page, and he's jumping by the thousands of followers.
That is crazy.
Inadvertently, the best thing to happen to him, and it's long overdue. That's how ironic
and you know what?
It is.
And he had a really good attitude about it. He even gave Jess,
and
Jess hilarious.
Go ahead, bring him on the show and get this over with. That's the final moment.
Bring him on the show.
Bring Damon Williams
on the Breakfast Club and say, this is the guy that
y'all joint tour together and sell out and everybody.
But I think he took the classy way out and just say, hey man,
he's never been nasty. He's always been people know who I am, and I'm just reposting the love they're showing me. Because honestly, when it comes to this kind of career and certain things in life, you will never know what it looks like to see your own funeral. But what he sees right now is the love he's got. And that's the closest thing you're going to get to seeing your own funerals. That people are actually like, no, I fuck with bro. Bro is not like that.
And so I think it was so shocking. It's like, for me, granted, I didn't see what was originally said that caused all this. I tried to find, I don't.
It's still on her page.
Okay, I just haven't taken the time to look. But just hearing about it, it's shocking. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you don't know who Damon Williams is? It's like, to us, like, it's normal for us. It's shocking for you to be a stand-up and not know. That could be anybody that's been in the game for this long and you don't know who it is.
Well, honestly, I think that not the only, but I get the grace I give to comics that came out digitally first is they never did have to sit in the mics and sit through the stand-up bullshit. Like, they didn't, like, if you get famous digitally in the last 5 years or 6 years now, there is no reason why you should know anybody prior to, I don't know, Jamie Foxx or Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart might be your starting point for, like, stand-up comedy. If you got famous in the last 5 years from digital comedy, your point of reference is Kevin Hart only, and then on. And you might know a couple of legends like Bernie Mac or Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy. I know them, but I don't remember no jokes in particular. But I know, like, Kevin Hart's, my checking account, like, they know that far and they go on. But they weren't stand-ups; they were digital entertainers that somebody told them you got to go on tour to make money.
But still, even in that world, like, if you are a new digital digital content creator, and then someone says talking about a collab or something, and someone says, they said Affion Crockett was gonna be, like, Affion who? Like, what? You don't know who Affion Crockett is? Affion Crockett fucking started a lot of this content creation before, like, he set a stage and people were watching him. And if you don't know who that is, it's like, what? I would be offended. Yeah, like, funny, if you didn't like if you didn't know who, like, somebody like King Batch or something like that. Somebody
that is their Kevin Hart.
Okay, yeah,
that's their Kevin Hart. They go, so that dude did it, and I said, "Dope, I want to do what that dude's doing."
So that's like saying, I don't know who that is.
There was a time when there were stand-up comedians who were like, "Who fuck? What are y'all talking about? Who's that guy?"
We're stand-up comedians. I'm talking about.
But it works both ways. They're asking who stand-ups are, and we're asking who these content creators are. I remember 5 years ago, you couldn't ask Tone or somebody else. King Batch, he'd be like, "Is he a stand-up?" Like, no, but he's very funny online. And he'd be like, "I want to give a fuck about." Like,
but you know what? But now nobody's blasting them. Nobody's blasting them online because they don't know who he is, and it's like kind of throwing shade. Right. That's the point.
Well, yeah,
that's what's so shocking.
I think the only part that was bad about that was that she said that one sentence. I don't know no damn Damon Williams. Everything else was fine, but she had to say damn in front of it, like, get the fuck out of here. She said, I don't know no damn Damon Williams. That's the line that made everybody in Chicago go, wait a minute, my guy.
Wait a minute.
Don't put no emphasis on the wrong part. Like, she made it seem like Damon Williams was a criminal in the situation and not the comedy club she was mad at. Right. So that's why I was like, hey.
You caught a stray. That was a good stray.
So the stray was what inadvertently has helped him out the last couple of years.
I actually called him. I'm trying to get him up in here. I mean, that's a good dude, man.
He's a solid guy. But being a comic that, like I said, being a comic that's been doing it long enough now, and now we are vets to people. However you want to look at it, we are vets to people, and now we got to tell people what we want to tell them in terms of how to get better, how to progress their own career, or how to find opportunities like the opportunities we found. And nothing does fall in your lap, so you really have to go seek it out. Right. Like, when I first met Tony and was talking to him or did that show with him, I didn't think to myself, I'm on tour now. I just happened to be like, man, you know, I fly Southwest. They bags are free, and you got one bag of merch with you. I was going there anyway with you next weekend. Why don't you just bring a second bag since you sold out, and I'll fly for free with it. I brought value to the conversation. And he was like, so you just bring my bag for free, and then we can make all the money I make out of the bag, what I sell out of that bag. It's net profit, all net profit. Why would I say no to that? And he's like, yeah, come pick up a bag, fly with it. I'll meet you in Texas. I'll meet you in whatever. And we did that like one time. After that, he was just like, man, bring all of it. Fly with both of them. I don't give a fuck. I was like, I fly with two bags. I fly with a carry-on because I don't travel with clothes like that. Man,
I'm trying to learn how to pack lighter now. Because I don't like carrying a whole lot of stuff.
I don't like check bags in general. I just get on and off a plane. Ever since obviously the luggage thing, I don't get on and off a plane anymore. But I pack light because I wear the same thing every day like a cartoon character.
I'm trying to get back to that because I don't want my luggage to get lost again. I'm still traumatized by that.
No, I've had lost luggage and that's shit.
I'm like going on stage, sticky, and just not knowing where your clothes is gonna come. I just didn't know what to do. Like, where's my bag? I gotta leave the airport, and they said we'll will come deliver it to your hotel. I said, are they coming right now or when? They said within 48 hours. I'm like, I'm glad it's not like a freaking one-nighter. Not what am I gonna do? But so let's I want to transition because we can talk about this freaking for the whole time we out here. I want to bring Trent in here. Matter of fact, go ahead, Trent, come on in here, brother. So we're actually hitting all my points. What's Trent? Yeah. We got Trent Mason in the building.
How we doing? How you doing, man?
The young OG.
The young, fresh 21-year-old, man.
New OG
so,
generation.
Man, so you flexing as a full-fledged legal adult.
Yeah. I'm an adult now. You know, I went to the comedy store.
Went to the comedy and he was loving it.
I went into the comedy store. They let me in.
They let me in.
I used to have to sneak in, but now I got in for the, they just let me in with ID.
And they know you as a comic, too.
And they know me as a comic.
So that's good.
That's good.
See, I think that's always funny when you go to, as a comedian, and I'm pretty sure you'll have this experience, like you're out of town, but you haven't been to that comedy club. How do you approach it? I remember it's like, should I buy a ticket? But as a a working comedian, like how do I go and make myself known? Like,
when you go to a comedy club out of town?
Yeah, I mean I know now, but I'm wondering what you guys did. Like, do you just go up and walk in?
Well,
go to the back? What do you do?
When I used to go to my job was send me for work trips, like to Minnesota, Wisconsin, Salt Lake City, Charlotte. Every club, I would just walk in and go, I'm a comic from LA, just want to hang out.
Okay, go through the front.
Yeah, you say you're from a comic from LA. How many people are gonna press you about that? They'd be like, yeah, come on in, bro. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I even get on stage sometimes. I'd be like, you from LA? Come on, you wanna go up? I'd be like, yeah, I'll go up. Like,
that's happening.
This is currency here, bro. Being an LA comic is currency.
I didn't even say that. I just said, hey, I'm a comedian. I'm just coming to check out the show. And I think that happens so much. The door guy or whatever, I was like, is the manager here or something like that? But I think that happens so much that, they're not going to stop you. So, but comedians don't just automatically know to do that.
Yeah.
Have you had that experience?
Yeah, I did that in Atlanta once. I was like, hey, I'm a comic. I came with one of my friends, and my comic just came to see the show.
Yeah.
He was like, ID? And then they didn't let me in from there.
What? They didn't let you in at all?
Because he wasn't 21.
I wasn't 21.
Oh, okay, wasn't 21.
Yeah.
I wonder what's the craziest thing
that kind of trumps
That'll stop you. That'll stop all of it.
I wonder where I would go. I think I would walk up to any comedy club right now except for the Cellar and think I could just get in and hang out and chill wherever the comics sit at. I would walk up to every club but the Cellar right now.
Why not the Cellar?
Because I feel like that's also on my list of things to do. Like if I never been there, I've never been to New York before, so I just feel like I can just walk up and be like, "Yeah, I'm here to hang out like a comic."
That's respect.
I got too much respect to do that. I always walk in places and act like I'm a civilian first, just to make sure I'm not missing the mark. And just I case the joints, working in banking maybe. I case the joints all the time. I want to know what's going on first, and I come in.
I would just find somebody who I knew. I mean, as comics, I haven't been to this town, and I'm gonna call such and such. Hey, can you get me in at this club? But not being welcomed into a comedy club that would just feel strange to me.
That would hurt.
Yeah, that would hurt. Man, they wouldn't let me in.
I felt that. I felt that too many times.
Outside of New York, I would probably walk up to every other club and be like, "Yo, I should at least be able to sit wherever comics sit, right?" Not because what I've done so far in my career, just under the vibe of come on, man, I've been doing this shit 10 plus years, bro. There's gotta be a place y'all just stuff comics at by now. Every place has a place you stuff comics. I'm not trying to get in the green room or nothing. I'm just
just hang in the back. Yeah. I just don't want to take a seat like I'm coming to see the show I don't want to waste a seat. I don't want to do that. Right. I don't want to do that.
It was funny. I said this other day. I said,
because I don't want to pay that 2-drink minimum. No.
When's the last time you watched the show end to end that you weren't on?
Live?
Yeah.
And man, it's been a while. It's
been
a while.
End to end is
that's all. I mean host, feature, headliner. Or feature headliner. I was thinking this.
I can't remember when I just did that.
I ran into Lance Woods the other night, and I was thinking to myself, he opens up for Tony Roberts
Shout out to Lance Woods.
Shout out Lance Woods. Shout out Mo Hill. Mo Hill also tours too with them. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, I've never got a chance to watch those guys work before the headliner comes out. I was thinking to myself, that'd be cool to see guys that kind of have the similar, work that we do. Like, just see what they do and how their sets go and how the room treats the features on other tours and, like, just kind of get it. Because, like, when you play a sport, you should know what everybody's doing. If you're a rebounder, you want to see how other rebounders are doing. You're a shooter. Like, I think myself, like, damn, I never actually took the time to notice that or look out and see it.
You know what you do?
And I'm intrigued by it.
You know what you do? You pick somebody who you like that's into, because that happens all the time. If you have the time to go, like Tony Baker or like he's like in Ontario, somebody that's working at the Brea or even the Hollywood Improv or somebody. I mean, just go and make yourself known and say, hey, I'm gonna come check you out. Then you'll see. But on the road, maybe stop by someone's and say hi.
I'm intrigued now. I'm actually thinking like I might go to a club, a city early one night and go see who was headlining that night and just watch their show. Because I think to myself, like, there's so much I can gain from, like, just watching other shows and watching how the vibes are. Like, that's not only one vibe to have, right? Like, there's just things you learn just from being in the different rooms. Not, like, mimicking a comic, but it's, like, mimicking or understanding that experiences are different. How shows can start are different. How shows can transition are different. How crowd interactions can be obsolete, like there's no crowd interactions at all, or there's crowd interaction like that sets up the headliner for even crazier shit. Like you just don't know what you don't know, and you can try new shit, but I think there's also to have an appreciation for other people who do kind of the work you do. Like, oh, that's dope. I know a guy that does this, and I watched him work out, and it was fun to see.
You actually, go to someone who you don't know.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about.
Don't
complete strangers to me.
Yeah,
I was complete strangers. The headliner and the feature.
Yeah, all of them. Just go and check it out. I mean, introduce yourself. Like, don't be like incognito or whatever. Go and check out a show and see and actually see the difference because.
There's the difference between what?
Okay, a sold out show, and this is a headliner person, and he didn't have hardly anybody come to his show. But it happens,
right?
But it gives you a greater. For me, it gives me a great appreciation of what I don't take that shit for granted.
Because like the headliner and a sold out show, or not sold out show with a headliner, or sold out show, and you see the headliner, you go, damn, he getting a murder. Like the hour wasn't an amazing hour, but they came to see him because they're big fans, or her because they're big fans.
But you listen to his comic ears, though.
Yeah, your comic ears are like, ooh, you getting off.
Sometimes like.
But when it comes to fans are fans.
Man, one time we was talking about this very thing. Is Rock and myself, and he told me he did just that. He went and saw somebody and watched the whole show, and was just like what you just said. It's like, man, okay, all right. For the longest time, he never told me who it was. I ain't gonna say who it was either, but I was like disappointed. But you do the work, and then when you get to that position, man, give the people a show.
Absolutely.
Wait, are you saying the person did good or not good?
I'm gonna say not good, but it's like I would have expected more.
Okay.
It would have expected more, and like Rodman. That's the person who I saw. I was in town. And I went to go see Rodman perform. I just stopped by.
I bet he was a treat.
Nigga, that motherfucker was
Chicago.
hilarious.
Shout out Chicago again.
It was good.
Rodman's amazing, bro.
Because see, we don't get to see people's full set.
You see comedians on, like, he did Comedy View back in the day, so it's a short set. But you might get an hour of that guy doing that shit. And you like, damn, this nigga funny for an hour.
For a full, I mean, and had the whole, because, Rodman's like, yeah. And he's got a smooth, mellow tone. And he was doing that for like an hour. I was like, dog,
I ain't gonna lie. If she would say, I don't know, damn Rodman, just let it, I'd have been like, I'm fighting. We fighting on site. Like, that's crazy. You lying now. Ain't no way you know Rodman is. That dude is hilarious.
Like, Rodman is one of them OGs in the game.
Absolutely. Chicago got some killers in general.
Yeah.
It's just I'm interested. Okay, earlier you said about when you said I do the tour now. Did you Sorry, I always touch the mic. The person,
Sorry, Mark.
The voice of God back there always yells at me about it. So you're on tour, right? And then you I start doing the tour, and then so what do you think as a comic as you're touring, and then I come on? What is your first impression?
This nigga right here.
Okay.
This nigga.
I was gonna say,
who is this?
Honestly, you have to think that, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Nobody really addresses that. I was thinking to myself, you gotta think to yourself, like, who is this nigga? Wait, is this nigga on tour? On the tour now. Right. Why is he taking spots? You know what I'm saying? So,
granted, you were somewhat familiar to us. I mean, to me. Like I'm not gonna speak for Trey. But understand that you're in a position to where you're on the short list now. That's how I look at it. See, right. and Trey and I, we have talks about this. We want everybody to win, but the reality is there are less dates because your ass is up in here.
Right.
Your ass is up in here, nigga.
Right. Right.
And this nigga. No, I'm just playing. But here's the thing. Ain't no animosity. I'll tell you that. And ain't no animosity. But I think you gotta just appreciate. You're here because you deserve to be here. You're here because you deserve to be here. And the fact, don't let that get in your mind. Right. Okay, you on the short list because there those times that, hey, literally just now, I can't do the show. And you got to pull somebody else in, and you're that guy, right? So we got other shit that we're doing anyway. It just feels a little bit different that you're doing less dates. I don't look at it that way, but don't put anything on there you don't need to, man. You good. You good.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there is a dynamic to it, and I think that
there is a dynamic. I'm sorry. Now, what is this nigga doing?
No, I'm not trying to bring it up in a way to make it seem like it's something that needs to be addressed.
It needs to be addressed. You a problem, man. You need to move back to St. Louis.
We're comics.
You need to move back to St. Louis and go to the Helium. They'll let you in.
Actively part of
you need to go back to St. Louis and start working there. What are you doing here? Get out of here. You're taking.
I told Tone, and Tone says the same thing, right? He talks about how he always got him and Tracy tour, and Tracy put him off the tour. And I always told Tone from the beginning, I was like, yo, I want to get kicked off the tour. That is my goal with you, and with this current relationship, how it stands now, is that my goal is to be kicked off the tour. I want to, and not in a negative way. It's a positive way.
Because you're so good.
You want Tony to kick you off the tour, or does it matter who kicks you off the tour? Get your ass off the tour. Right.
Joe kick you off the tour.
Joe kick you off the tour. That's not good.
CC email
I'll pull you aside, motherfucker. Don't you show up around here. You stay from around here.
I was on my 10-minute spots, and I was saying to myself, when I be in the green room or watching from the shows, I'm like, yo, man, all this to me is, ironically, the intern thing. It's headliner training. I always call it that. It's headliner training. These are the things I did not know how to do when I was on my little 1-hour shows by myself. I wasn't doing any of this stuff. I wasn't noticing that the staff matters more. Everybody matters more. Like how you treat people from when you land to when you get to your hotel. Everything matters more. And I had not noticed any of that. I had not learned any of that. And so to me, when I started going on tour, I was like, damn, so many little things matter that I did not know mattered. And so those are things I picked up. Then when I watched Tone do his hour, I was like, oh man, these things matter. Like being present in the room, like everything that I was not doing. I thought I had to perform for an hour straight. Yeah. With I don't need crowds. I never did crowds.
Like the TV is on.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I got an hour worth of jokes, is what I thought. I don't have any time for crowd. Like y'all, I'm listening to old tracks of these Red Fox. I listen to Red Fox every time I drive here.
Really?
Ain't no crowd work. It's bow, joke. Ain't no crowd work. You know what I'm saying? Now times have changed, but it's ain't no crowd work. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't a thing before.
Anyway, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's just interesting that I've learned so much on the way, and I don't care if it's this year, next year, whenever. Like my goal still is to be like, hey, you gotta go. Like that is what I want. I want to have progressed enough in my career. That's what that means.
You know what? It's all a rite of passage, and I think, and you've already experienced this to some degree. When you go and to one of the clubs or wherever, and you're the guy that they came to see, and you take it upon yourself to make that happen.
Yeah.
You know, you got that one nighter. So to some degree, you've already had that experience. But that's the rite of passage. It's just now the opportunity, the exposure of working with a working headliner, you know, that you're still putting in your stripes. We all are doing that.
Absolutely.
We all are doing that. So I want to transition a little bit.
Yeah.
Now that Trent is in here. See, the hottest thing now is the Diddy trial.
Diddy.
The Diddy do it, Diddy whatever.
He did it.
He did
Diddy
a lot.
did it.
He did a lot of stuff. So I was thinking, you know, I want to give updates about this. You guys are getting the updates, and we're gonna talk about this, you know, at length at certain times because something's gonna happen in the room. But I'll tell you personally, I'm kind of over it, but only in the sense that how long are they gonna talk about the sex part? Because I think the whole courtroom gonna turn into a freak off at the end of this because they being super explicit. Everybody's either being grossed out or turned on. They coming out of the room reporting all this stuff about the Diddy trial. All I know is that this is now, I think probably in your age group, is probably the biggest court case. It's gonna stick for a while.
This is the new OJ case right here.
See, that's I'm glad you said that.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how big the OJ case was. I'm pretty sure this is huge.
No,
but in your lifetime,
well, then this is huge
for both races though. OJ case is huge for both races. White people are not paying attention to Diddy's trial.
You don't think so?
I think white people are paying attention to Diddy's trial.
Mark, are you paying attention to Diddy's trial? Exactly.
He said no.
Why do you don't care about Diddy's trial?
I trust Mark as a spokesman for all white people.
You do have a point.
They don't care about all rappers getting in trouble again.
OJ,
it's polarizing.
It is polarizing. You know why? Because it was a white woman.
Exactly. The juice was loose. And OJ was fairly white popular too, even though he wasn't black athlete.
He was white popular.
He did rental car commercials. Bro was big.
He was doing.
There ain't no white women in the Diddy case.
Gun.
No.
So what?
There ain't no white women in the Diddy case.
It's just a black chick,
there is.
I swear, Ellen and Diddy were best friends at some point.
Ellen who?
DeGeneres.
She's a victim?
No, I think they were friends at some point. They must be involved. I don't know.
Man.
No, man.
If they got Ellen on any of those tapes.
Ellen's totally on these tapes.
Bro, if Lindsay Lohan would have been Cassie, this would be the biggest trial of the year.
But
it's Cassie and Diddy, not Lindsay Lohan and Diddy. So that's why Mark
in a way,
this case should have been more diverse.
It is.
No, we can't make it up. It's not a casting.
Man, there are all flavors of freaks up in that trial.
Be Kara. We need Kara. That's not how this works.
Man,
no, it should have been.
Did you
spread
know
out.
Casting your cases?
Do you know about the prosecutor? Because I looked all this stuff up and I was just amazed. One, there was one attorney in particular that got dismissed from the case before the trial even started. He was one of the attorneys, and before the trial started, it says he quit. We don't know why he quit.
But did a bad boy CD fall out of his pocket? What the hell?
I don't know.
Whose side was he on?
He one of Diddy's attorneys.
One of Diddy's attorneys dropped out last moment.
Either got dropped out, I don't know why. They're not saying, but I think it has something to do with his last name. His last name is Rico. So maybe he got fired. Like, look, the trial's coming up. I don't like your last name. You need to get off the case.
That's crazy.
I think it's like Anthony Rico or something like that.
It's not gonna work well on the media.
I'm not over the case, but I just think that it's gonna end one particular way. And
I would hurry up and end. Like this. Look, they got enough evidence. What are you trying to prove? I know what you're trying to prove, but the back and forth between the prosecution and the defense is like, did she consent? Did she consent? But she didn't consent here. She didn't consent here. Look at this tape, all this other scandal. But here's what I thought was, I looked at the prosecution tape, the prosecution team. There are 5 white women. Did you know this?
No.
5 white women.
There's some diversity for you.
Yeah, right.
There we go.
Yeah, 5 white women. Y'all gonna trip. Y'all gonna trip. I looked up all of their names. Hilarious. You got the GPS on? What the hell is that?
I don't know what that is.
Narc.
So I looked at
what the heck was that?
So I looked at the prosecutor.
Tell us what it was.
There are 5 women on the prosecution team. 5 white women. Their names are Karen.
No, that's a joke. Okay.
No, that's a joke. But all of them are all 5 white. And I'm like, yo, man, they gonna get him.
No.
I don't know, man.
They put in defenses of 5
white
guys, because if so, they're gonna lose.
The prosecution, 5 white women, and then the defense team, the defense lawyers. There's like 6 of them. Let's see, 1, 2. Let me see this. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of those, but there's like legacy lawyers. The same people that like they were in the Terry Gregorios. I can't even pronounce the name, and Alexandra Shapiro. Those are 2.
Shapiro.
Yeah, you know that name.
Oh, they cook.
Yeah. So
good.
OJ trial. She's like a daughter of Robert Shapiro.
Really?
At least that's what I looked up. I think that's correct. But the point is that they got these high powered lawyers. Everybody's making all this money, and I'm like, at the end of all of this, it's just gonna be, the trial of the century, and I wonder what's next.
Like no one.
I don't want to give it the title of trial of the century.
Because it is.
OJ's in the century as well.
I think to me it has dwarfed the OJ trial.
Dude,
to me,
fucking the Jack Sparrow and the white girl's
that
trial
case was great.
Bigger than this. What's his name? Come on, Mark. What's that trial
Johnny
called?
Depp.
Johnny
Depp and Amber Heard?
Yeah.
That was bigger than this. This trial is not that big, man.
It isn't, but it's so. That's why I'm kind of over it, because it's sensationalized this much. It's like first of all, they're trying it in the court of public opinion, and everybody's picking sides.
But wait a second, who's on Diddy's side? I haven't been paying attention much to the case. Is this a close battle? I thought we all knew Diddy was diddling.
I'm not even sure what part he's in trouble for in terms of like
he's being charged with. He's got RICO charges, sex trafficking
so the sex
charges,
part,
and I think
possession of baby oil or something.
Well, the baby oil is a sensational piece of the trial, because baby oil, this and this, 1,000 bottles of baby oil. You know what's funny about that? All that, these people that are making these AI videos, they put the story in and they're making these elaborate AI videos of all the 1,000 bottles and Diddy in a freaking kiddie pool of baby oil. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. And the kids, the youngsters, they're seeing that it's real probably and don't know. But it looks pretty bad, to paint a picture like that.
You know what I think is the craziest part of all this? That's why I don't like the court case in general. I mean, I want the justice to be served however it looks.
Of course.
I don't like the publicizing of it, because it just reminds me that it only makes news because it's a successful person, right? Like
a successful person?
Successful black person, right? Whether it's music, athletes, whatever. Mm-hmm. Court cases happen all the time for, their white counterparts that get sealed. Documents get sealed.
Like Hugh Hefner?
All that shit gets sealed. But these black athletes and black rappers and actors somehow get public trials and everything's public, right? Because of the Freedom of Information Act, you can request all this shit, or you can let it be televised. And all it does is remind me that no matter how much money you make in whatever industry it is, you somehow end up paying it back to a white lawyer or a white defendant or a white legal system.
What? I think that's
make all the money you want, rapper. You're going to get it back to one way or the other. You took my daughter's money for his concert ticket. I'm going to get more than that back when I take your ass to court. It's like, you just reminded that, that money ain't yours. You'll get it back from with the agent, the white agent that you hired to get you the contract.
You're not going to be able to keep
prosecutors in defense you got to pay for. The settlement with the white girl you fucked. No matter how it happens, you're going to pay it back white.
And that's the other thing. Cassie done cashed out so many times. Like, do I even have to be here? I got my money. I mean, I kind of feel there's an error there a little bit.
And even when you're in trouble with the judicial system, there's a financial payment you got to do too. Like, if you made money illegally, you're going to pay it back illegally. Like,
he had to pay it back illegally.
He had to put his house. He had to put the $35 million mansion in Miami up to bail himself out. Who's making money on that while he's on court?
The banks.
Exactly. Like, this all goes back. It's like they pay you this money and then you pay it all back anyway.
Okay, that's an interesting point. We're all in the entertainment business here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
How they gonna get you?
I ain't made no money yet. That's why.
I ain't got no money.
I'm still broke.
Being broke.
Believe me, when I hit a home run.
How they gonna get you, man? What's most likely to happen? How they gonna catch you, man?
How they gonna get me?
How they gonna get you, man?
Man, it's gonna be a bad Brazilian bitch.
A woman. It's gonna be a woman.
Bad Brazilian gonna catch me slipping. But here's the thing about it. I'm gonna bribe you. I want $10 million for this video. I'm like, oh, bitch, you can drop that video on YouTube. I don't give a
on YouTube,
man.
Crazy. We good. I'm not getting in trouble for that shit.
I'm gonna make sure. What do you call it? when you go somewhere and you sweep for bugs, I don't want nothing recorded.
No, that's the thing. They're trying to like sell you on like, oh, they could caught you cheating type videos. I'm like, I assure you that the money I pay you ain't worth the money getting caught.
You know,
I'd rather get caught for less.
I think after all this, cheating is gonna be accepted. Prostitution is gonna be accepted. Drug usage, all this stuff is gonna be like the norm. I think before cocaine and weed and all that stuff, they're slowly starting to legalize these illicit substances.
It's harder for you to get in trouble for shit.
But now this freak off stuff, I think now that's going to be more accepted. It's like, hey, let's go have a freak off.
Sex trafficking
it's like teenagers having it.
You know how great sex trafficking is?
Yes.
Do you know how great sex trafficking is though? When it comes to like RICO charges?
How great it is?
Gray area is.
Oh.
If you fly a bitch, you live in LA and you fly a bitch out from Texas and she come here and fuck you and fly back home and you pay for that ticket, pay for her hotel, pay for all that. She could go back and be like, yeah, that was a hired service. He pimped me. And now you're a part of sex trafficking. And there's no way to dispute it because you did buy the ticket. You did pay for the hotel. You did all that shit. Why are you not a pimp? Ain't that what pimps do? That's how great it is.
I mean, most pimps have more than one hoe. I'm like,
so when you come to that RICO shit, if you have like, so part of Diddy's charge is that he made old girl come to LA and like fuck one of his like industry
friends. They can make it
and
stick.
Because of that, they look like an interstate transaction.
This is a battle of words, Grimey. It's like they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it. Here's how you did it. They're doing a freaking Rubik's cube on the language, and they're gonna make this fit.
But the letters of their law makes it seem like you can easily be got on that.
That's why. That's why you guys spend.
Flew a bitch out.
That's why you got to spend $10 million on a legal team to refute all that stuff.
Yeah.
See, and you see what I just said? You gotta pay for
you gotta pay to play on that.
Out of it.
See, here's the thing. Because
you played ball, and then they're like, got your dumb ass. Now pay $10,000 per hour to fucking get out of this.
$10,000 per hour.
And that's the crazy part.
You know how much you're spending per day?
You're paying back everything you earned.
How much who's spending per day?
Like the Diddy trial, like how much money they're spending per day.
He got 8 lawyers. He's gonna come out of $3 million easily.
Yeah, I mean I don't know about millions per day, but he's spending like several $100,000.
I mean, he's gonna come out of $3 million for all those lawyers.
More than that.
It's work hours. Like he's gonna come out of a lot of money.
He's got to pay all those people and understand it's not just the lawyers. Just to talk to the judge and making all these motions and filing this and filing that costs. The little nominal fees and they'll nickel and dime. All of a sudden, you got an expensive ass case. But these RICO charges and talking about sex trafficking and all that stuff, I'm like, how are they making that stick? Like, where's the truckload of dirty faced girls and women? That I don't know what we're doing here. I mean, it's like
flying out chicks.
But yeah, that's what you're saying.
That's how technical it is.
They're making that stick. I'm like, when you think of sex trafficking, are you thinking of getting flued out?
This is why I'm telling you, I think that he is going to walk away.
And that's going to be a tragedy because it's a bad look. I don't know where you were when OJ got off, but man, I saw nothing but cracked faces, crying. He's gonna go free. I'm talking about nervous breakdowns.
The agenda is not going to be. There's nothing to further this agenda. It's a black guy and a black girl. Nothing matters. Like they won't.
Is it a black girl? Is it really a black girl?
Cassie's black.
No, it isn't. No, she's not.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, she's black. No,
I don't think so.
Like I think Cass and a white chick would be a bigger fanfare. But this chick is
she does not. In my eyes, I'm not looking at her as the black girl. I'm saying she's not.
See what happened to Shannon? Shannon cooked, right? Why is Shannon cooked? Because girl. What? Exactly.
White girl.
Cassie is black then. For all intents and purposes, Cassie is black. Because that been a white girl in this lawsuit.
I don't agree with you, but
Diddy been cooked by now.
I don't agree with you, but Cassie is a special case here because
why? What's the special case?
Because she was the one on the videotape getting harmed and abused.
I'm saying that
she's on tape, bro.
I'm still saying that she's a minority, and that's why she's not getting the same treatment in the media that the Amber Heard, Lindsay Lohan.
Okay, there's some nuance there, but okay, I can go with that.
She doesn't get the white publicity.
If Diddy would have threw a white girl through a hotel window or elevator,
it would have been
step right up, nigga, right to the fucking electric chair.
If Cassie had blonde hair.
Bro, how do you? So you really think Diddy's gonna walk away?
Diddy's gonna walk home.
If Diddy gets to walk away,
he's walking home.
Tory Lanez should also be able to walk away.
Tory Lanez will be home by the end of the year.
Okay,
I'm telling you, bro.
I think Tory Lanez should be out.
This is all media shenanigans. We all pay attention. We losing our money and our time paying attention to this shit. Don't even matter. Yeah. Like, Diddy's gonna walk away. Like, Young Thug walked away. Like, Tory Lanez is gonna walk away. Everybody's gonna walk away, and everybody's richer because of it. Tory Lanez got his prison scars.
You can't forget that.
Come back out with a fire album, he gonna be rich. Yeah. Diddy come back out with a hot new artist, he gonna be rich.
That's the first
Everybody's
thing
coming back out richer.
A lawyer's gonna ask you is how much money you got. What are we talking about? Is this? Do we have a case? Part of that equation is who stands to gain money. And
if I'm not mistaken, this trial that Diddy's on, this is not Cassie's doing. She's not trying to get him to go to prison. She's testifying for the larger charge.
She got her.
But this isn't
she's the star witness.
Saying, send that man to prison, he assaulted me.
Look, this
is a government charge or federal charge.
It's the people against,
based on
these are federal charges, man. And a lot of people forget that. But the court is in the court of public opinion. And if it wasn't for Cassie and if it wasn't for all this stuff, then he wouldn't be charged, so to speak.
But house searches, subpoenas, everything. They can take everything out your fucking house, confiscate whatever they want out of your house, $100 million in cash out your fucking house.
We have a warrant to break inside your house.
And then now you come back and try over with it. Where my $1 million at?
But this is why I say,
what you gonna do about it? Fight the government?
And see, this is why I say, this is why I keep the race card pulled. And see, when Diddy, this is a cautionary tale. You can't do what your white counterparts do and think you're going to get away with it. And especially if you try to do it in their face and offend the wrong person. And it's not because of Cash. It's because of that right there. You offended the wrong person, and now look at you. And you've been living this life, and emotionally, I'm trying to disassociate myself with it and just kind of write it off and just look at this is a cautionary tale. This is a cautionary tale, and you shouldn't take your black excellence and mismanage your melanin like that. That's just crazy.
Which one? You shouldn't hit women or you shouldn't cautionary tale? Well, what?
What did you just say?
No.
Don't throw a woman out of the elevator for sure. Debatable? She didn't throw your Xbox out the window, so you're going to follow behind.
Do you question that video in any way other than a woman is getting beat down?
The one where Diddy was
one that everybody has seen.
Dragged her back into the room. The elevator.
Let's keep in mind that we didn't have the audio. So we don't know. So we don't know what she said.
That's why your dick little. Come here, bitch. What do you think?
So we don't know what she said.
Make up some audio for me that gets you dragged back to the hotel room. That little dick did shit to me. I'm like,
she could have said
that's a dangerous tightrope right there. You walking.
She could have said something crazy.
Okay, right there. Yes, she did say something crazy. They all say something crazy, but you don't be living up in their mouth with your fist. And you don't have to rub your foot upside her head.
I ain't dragged a woman.
Not on tape anyway. That's crazy.
I never dragged a woman. If I dragged a woman, I hope it's for some kind of foreplay shit. Like drag me from the hotel room.
That's even dangerous.
Exactly, bro. That's why I'm like, if you say drag me, I'm making you sign a document that says you have to drag you first.
Man, forget all that.
I don't know what kind of role play he was doing.
That's the biggest
nail.
The
audio now is crazy.
That's the biggest nail. No one's done that yet. No one's taken that video and putting words on. I haven't seen it. Or made them babies. Or made them babies.
If you want to fuck me again, you have to drag me back in there. Okay, you just this.
Show that in court.
There's
Look
no
at this.
way the audio is that, bro. I sure. Oh, it's so bad.
We've authenticated the audio. It is real.
You extracted the audio from the hotel hallway.
She could have called him stupid.
That cheesecake was trash anyway. Oh, bitch, come back in here and take the cheesecake.
I don't make it all right.
There's nothing she said.
There's nothing that you can say. Now, if you saw her, show me that tape where she was slugging and throwing it. Now I see mutual combat at least. But I don't see. I see aggressor, man hitting woman down on the ground, stomping.
The only case that I was curious about, and it's only because it's so abstract, but I understand that there's a underworld of this shit happening. Was that pitcher who liked choking bitches, and then the chick sued him for choking him, and he's like, "But that was our thing," and then he never played baseball again. And it was like, nigga. So she was in there getting choked. You a pitcher with your strong ass forearm. You choked her like a professional. like you choked up on a bat, like you choked up on a bitch, and then now you ain't playing baseball. And I always thought to myself, like, damn, what if she was into that freaky shit, but that he just happened to be a pitcher with a strong ass arm, and his chokes didn't hit the same.
Hey, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and
but
the video's
freaky
worth
sex, man,
a million words.
You gonna pay for freaky sex. If you're doing some kinky shit, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen.
If you're going to pay for that, make sure there ain't no cameras, no audio. Do a full sweep of the room.
Like, she took the choke
mark
mark
no
and
evidence
went straight to the hospital like this nigga.
And that's another one of my problems with this whole thing. We're talking about bedroom activities, hotel room, bedroom sex activities. And I'm like, one, ain't nothing sacred anymore. And now there's a stigma if you want to do something spicy, and then when somebody brings out baby oil, it's like, oh no, I'm not gonna, you ain't gonna freak me off. Or no Diddy, the whole Diddy
ruined
thing.
Baby oil.
You know what? They're gonna come out. Shoot, you say they ruined. I say that they're gonna come out with some products, to kind of make some more money off of it.
No, they're gonna change Baby oil's name.
I think
to what?
Kid, I don't know.
I think what's
glisten.
I think the issue that men have with discussing
glisten and glide, nigga.
The issue men have with discussing this topic is that we only can see it in our point of view of being a successful man and some girl trying to take advantage of us in that situation. We're not seeing it as
good point.
Girls are being targeted by men with influence of power and money. And
targeted?
They're being targeted, right?
Oh, no, wait.
Meaning that
what
you're
do you
a
mean by
successful
that?
man and you choose a girl that ain't got shit and you make her this big thing. You made her. And now she's at your disposal because you've made her. And the compromise is, well, if I say fuck this guy, my whole life is ruined.
So you're saying
I'm saying that
a man is successful and then he creates
uses that
this
power
woman?
to influence, intimidate, and control.
Okay, you're talking about
people.
That. Okay,
right?
I thought you were talking about in general.
Of success.
A woman is not a success.
If I'm big dog, right?
A man is the success.
No, the man with the power is finding people who are not successful and then saying, I bet you need me, don't you? What you gonna do for that need?
That's
right?
an ego.
Yeah. If I get 10 straight movies in a row and I walk out on Sunset Boulevard for a mile straight, I get 25 bitches that want to be stars and they're gonna do whatever I want to do it.
That's
mentally
dope. That's called something.
On the surface, that's dope. But what if you go, I want to go past the surface? Hey, I'm gonna pee on you. I'm gonna choke you. Like you start making up shit because you're so power hungry and it's so fun. They all at your disposal. You're gonna abuse your power at some point.
There's a sickness there to think that you can take your power and abuse.
There's no sickness people. There. You get drunk with power.
That's corruption. That's corruption.
But you wanted that power. That's why you went for it.
That's greed.
You can be lame.
There.
You can be lame in the middle of the road with no influence at all. And those people, I can't even name them because that's how successful they are being nobody. But once you choose to overachieve and have the spotlight on you and success and the power of influence, which I think is so much more important than power of influence, you know what you're doing with that power. So that girl that you found at 19 and made her a star or made her a musician, whatever you did, you know that she only has to think in herself that I'm only this person because of this guy. I owe him everything. That's how you feel when somebody make you somebody. Yeah. I owe you everything. And if they call in to cash in on that shit.
But so how do you fix that?
You self-made.
You need help.
It takes way longer and your success
you need help.
Low.
You can't. That's why they try to get them while they're young and impressionable. And I mean, I'm not defending nobody on this. I'm making a general statement.
Everyone wants a shorter path.
There you go. Everybody wants a way in, and they're willing to do something that they wouldn't normally do. I mean, there's a level of ego there. There's a level of greed there, and there's a level of delusion and desperation in all of that. And then you start trading. And then all of a sudden you're in a situation where you're making bad choices. Unfortunately, in that scenario, they're going to look to the man and say, you targeted or you're taking advantage of. And yes, that is true.
Unfortunately, I mean, usually the men are in the positions of power. So that's why the man
the weakest of men that nobody men could be doing that.
And they say, you fuck me to get this role.
You don't need
fuck the lady for the role. But it's more dudes making that decision than women.
I don't know about
Let's
that.
put more women in power.
If a lady a casting director right now hit you and say, Joe, I got a movie right now. Joe, Denzel needs a co-star. We're looking to break somebody in new. I think you're a great role for it. Okay. I just think you got to fuck me today, and then you'll be in that movie with Denzel tomorrow.
Let's put
the lady or not.
You know what I would say.
Let's put more women in power.
Hey, they're already there.
Let's put
we
even
don't
more.
recognize them. You know what I would say to that? I would say, prove it.
Like,
no, I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't say put you on a casting call. Put you on a.
No, I said, is that how you come to me? I would be insulted.
So you yes or no? Is there a question though? She's like, yo, you want it or no?
I said, not like that.
What do you want me to put it on a platter for you?
I said, I'll audition for the part. Let's pull in the chemistry.
I don't give a fuck how you audition. The hotel room is right there. You want to go to the hotel room? Audition tomorrow.
I'll say I respectfully and with all arrogance decline, and I'll put them on blast. That's me personally. I would put them on blast. Then and there.
What you doing, John?
I would. Yeah, you would. Grimy. We call him Grimy for a reason.
Damn, my nigga. Let's get to work. Joe,
I'll tell you, get Denzel on the phone.
I'm in that movie tomorrow.
Get Denzel on the phone.
Fuck that lady. I don't give a fuck about that lady.
Yeah. See,
I fuck worse for less. What are you talking about? That's my man.
Perfect.
My man needs to fuck worse for less. Yes.
That's
King
crazy.
Kong got shit on you.
That lady gonna be like, yeah, he fucking for the Denzel. I'm like, yes. So I fucked a trial the day before that too for free. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's nothing to me, bro.
Man, you'll fit in real good, and they're gonna fit into you too.
What are we talking about? We talking about the lady still?
Yeah. You switched subject real quick, didn't you?
Fit into you? What does that mean?
You don't play like you.
You saying that because I fucked that lady? I'm gonna fuck the.
No, they gonna do you. You think you gonna be the only one doing the fucking? No, they gonna you.
Okay.
Haven't you learned anything from this Diddy trial?
Here's the thing. If you think that nothing in this world gets accomplished by coworkers fucking, that's also crazy.
There's a lot of legitimate businesses out there of reputable
What's the movie called? Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt?
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. They were coworkers when they started.
They were spies.
What's the difference?
They
got married after that movie.
They were spies.
But they got married after that movie. Brad Pitt left Jennifer Aniston after that movie. Like, it don't matter who you fuck before or after, but you end up fucking somebody.
You think because of that movie, it's like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and leave my wife and get with you. You think that happened?
Is that not what you saw? He was married to Jennifer Aniston. He left and married Angelina Jolie after the movie.
I don't know.
I think that's exactly what happened. He said, damn, Angelina Jolie.
What kind of speculation is that? That movie could have came out, they could have made that movie after they were over or whatever.
But they were still technically married. Like on paper, they were married.
Oh, that don't mean nothing.
So he divorced her and then he married Angelina Jolie.
That don't mean nothing.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if you divorce somebody and leave somebody, it's fine. But the point is that
wife swapping and husband swap. People
coworkers.
Hop around.
To me, there's no difference. If you fucked a coworker before, why does it matter when you fuck your coworker?
Coworker meaning you're
before
working on
the job, after getting the job, you still fucked your coworker.
So what are you saying, Remy?
He's saying it's the same situation as the situation he just gave you.
The casting director, whoever she is, she's still your
she's not my coworker yet.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you fuck her before, she's your coworker or after. Like, you still fucked your coworker.
All right, well, I would think that I would have more integrity than that.
What's the integrity part? The part that you don't want to take her, you don't want to feel like I got this role because I fucked her, or that I'm good enough on an acting basis to get this role without fucking her. Like you said, I would rather that part than just knock this out and then be in the next 5 movies because I fucked one lady.
Hey, man.
What if you shine so hard in that
little bitty gatekeeper, the casting director, that gatekeeper right there? Because if you know anything about this business, the casting director brings you to the producer and the director. It's not just her. You're the in, but they bring you to the other people that are the deciders. The casting director, they ain't got that kind of power. It's gatekeeper. Then bring me to the executive producer.
That's who you gonna fuck.
No. Y'all
bring me to. I was like, okay, bring me. You want to get brought to it? I was gonna fuck the lady.
Bring me to the executive.
I don't want to go to
Take me to your leader.
I don't want to go to big offices. I was gonna fuck that lady and get out of here.
That's like the key grip come up to you. Look, I can get you into the casting director. All you got to do is drop your draw.
John is like, we need more women executive producers.
Exactly. We need more women decision makers.
You don't want no sloppy, nasty looking.
We don't want no guys.
Work as a damn ranch hand.
We want 7s and 8s making decisions like this.
That's crazy.
Green light, all this shit.
Nah, dog. I
mean, men have been abusing their power for 100 years in this industry. Why can't women get a run at it for 30 years?
You don't think they're not?
I'm talking about exclusively.
those stories aren't out yet. Maybe they're on those Diddy tapes. They're gonna.
Oh my God! Let Diddy.
They're gonna be some casting directors on those Diddy
Sadly,
Diddy tapes.
And accurately, we can't say anything about Diddy until it gets proven. He has to.
He's innocent. He's innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly.
In a courtroom.
I watched him punch a chick so many times.
He said he was guilty of that.
That's not the charge, though.
That's not the charge.
What is this about?
The RICO charge.
What is a RICO charge?
RICO charge is organized crime. It's like
racketeering, conspiracy.
Okay.
Obstruction of justice. And the eyes, I can't remember what it is.
Got you.
Basically, they're saying you did a value meal of bullshit, illegal shit, like a McDonald's value meal of bullshit, and you go to jail for all that shit. And usually, it's a combination package. Organization, a combination sentence,
criminal
like 30
organization,
years or some shit, because you did all that shit, and you conspired with other people to do it. So it's a big ass evil plan, and you did it across states, which makes it a federal offense.
Yeah,
so now you can charge you as a federal penalty, which usually is a higher prison sentence.
And that's what gives me. He's the only one being charged. I said, you don't have any
co-conspirators.
Like who else should be getting charged?
On a RICO charge, but Gunna walked, and then somebody else walked, and then Thugger walked.
You can't have an enterprise by yourself.
So it's like,
I wish there was like a Nino Brown moment in the courtroom. This is bigger than Diddy. He pointing at somebody. It wasn't me. It was the guy at the bank.
I don't like when you umbrella charge people, because then you're not gonna get them. That's an umbrella charge.
They need a big fish. They need to put on a big show, and they're putting on a big show.
They want to get Diddy. They got him back when Shine went to jail for that shootout in the club.
Hey,
they trying to make a Netflix documentary right now.
Exactly.
They're going to make plenty of money off of this.
Yep.
They're going to have mini-series documentaries.
The money's being made on the back.
The same people that made Surviving R. Kelly
TV shows
is going to make a Surviving Diddy, and they're going to have a whole
as I said, the
streaming
money that he
network
made, he's paying back. That's all it is.
Man, but we'll stay on top of it and see what else is next, because Cassie's mom was on there and they left her alone.
Okay.
Yeah, it is getting late. So last things, I think I pretty much covered everything. Did nobody say who's next? I asked. I think you asked that question. Who's next to get a scandal? Like who you think is gonna be next?
Oh.
Like who is rising to prominence that's getting
Mr. Beast is going down. He's been up for too long. He's great. I think he's great. I don't think he did nothing. I don't know. But I just feel like he's been up too long. Have you heard
anything about Mr. Beast that makes you think
people hate people who are doing well?
I'll take one of the Paul brothers then. If we're just throwing out names, give me a Paul brother. One of them motherfuckers bound to fuck up sooner or later.
500 on the Paul.
One of them gotta be freaky. And it just be a matter of time for
somebody that's amassing a fortune of wealth and influence.
Paul brothers are thriving right now.
Oh, yeah?
Are they?
They fucking
maybe
it's
got to be Jake.
They in boxing. They in everything, bro.
I don't think Logan did nothing. He got a kid. He got a wife. I think he chilling.
No, Rogan cool.
Rogan cool.
Did you say Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan got informants helping him out.
No, Joe Rogan's interesting.
On his side, bro. They ain't gonna catch him.
I think we know everything Kanye
I'm thinking
did.
Somebody
just telling everyone.
I'm thinking somebody's prime for a down.
The only person left really is LeBron. That's the only guy that's been Teflon for 20 years. If something crazy happened with LeBron, everybody be like, "Wow, finally."
There's no indication of
20 plus years of fame, no scandal at all. It's very impressive. That's the only person.
I've never thought about that.
The person left to that. White people be like, "We got to get that motherfucker one way or the other."
It's always sports, music, or TV.
That's the only way they're gonna get a new face of the league. Get LeBron all the way out the paint with some negativity. I don't know what he could do.
There's no I haven't heard anything.
Exactly.
Not everybody gets something.
That's how Teflon he is. So if you catch
maybe
him,
he's just a good guy. Maybe that.
I think he's chill. Like no one got Michael Jordan for anything, right?
Shit.
No. That's on another level.
I'm just saying, like people can go their whole life. They can be legendary. They can be up without having a thing take them down.
Jordan did his time.
But he wasn't taken down. I'm talking about public scrutiny, court cases. You are
he had no court cases, but the media
not like this.
Attention he had it wasn't
like you're an unsavory dude,
like
you're an unscrupulous villain. Nah.
People still think he retired for 2 years because of gambling debt. That's a crazy thing to surmise.
I don't know about all that, but he was a target because he was amassing a fortune, taking over companies. He was in a position of influence and power, and he got dealt with in a special way.
He was the most popular black dude behind Michael Jackson. Easily the most popular black dude in the world behind Michael Jackson.
I would say that.
Both named Michael.
Yeah. So like,
them MJs, man.
The Billions show it. Now he was like, I mean, honestly, he had a pretty easy. I mean, he probably was Teflon too, though. Like he didn't get too much, but I think because he was so valuable, we can risk him being.
Yeah, but I don't think he offended somebody to the point where I'm taking all of your money.
That nigga said Republicans buy Jordans too. That was the most save me statement ever
compared to what Kanye said and what Diddy did.
Kanye is, I guess, invincible now.
You think so?
He said everything there is to be said.
He said he was schizo too, so everything gets a green light for all of it now.
He said everything.
He was schizo. He can say all kinds of shit. If I said I was schizo and try to text every girl I know, like, hey, let me fuck. What'd you say? I'm sorry. I'm
schizo. My bad.
They'd be like, you almost got in trouble. Like,
I don't know. I reserve comment on that.
I think
I said we could pick up next week on that.
Yeah. Hey, so where you guys at?
We in Chicago this weekend. Chicago Improv with Tony. Yep. And next weekend Orlando Funny Bone with Tony as well. So kicking it.
Got my comedy special coming out later this month or the beginning of June. Working on that right now. Nice. And just follow me on Instagram at Trent TRENTTT for all my upcoming stuff. Oh, I'm doing a play on the 30th, May 30th. Look at my Instagram for that too.
I'm John Grimes, by the way. Mr. Tan Panda online. Yeah.
All right. What's your IG? Say it.
I just said mine.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Trent TT.
You got a clip coming up after this?
And there will be a clip. Stay tuned for the new song / freestyle at the end of this video.
So thanks for the subscribers again. Yo, make sure you share this, smash that like button. We'll be back next week with the full gang.
Bow, bow, bow.
Bow. With a guest.
One step, two step, three step, four. Running to my feet, can't run no more. Get out of my way, I'm counting the days I'm running, but what am I running for? I forgot, lost track of it all, feel like God dragging me on the floor like a mob. I'm breaking through the doors like I'm SWAT. I came from the ground like a rock, 10 toes standing down like a sock. I'm staying on point like a dot. You think you're safe till you know you're not. Me against the world like I was Pac. Anyone see these hands like a clock? I keep a K on me like I'm that. How many days until I'ma stop? How many days until I'm